Speaking of staying over at a friend's house,
The right
with
guy.
the right guy. So it's not about the effort at all. It's just it has to be the right guy.
How creepy do you look?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh
Me
my
too.
goodness. Okay,
Yeah,
here
where?
we go. Hey guys, it's Ethan, and here is What's New with New Podcast, episode 4. I'm here joined by my friends Karen and Elaine. Thank you guys so much for coming.
Thank you for having me here.
Okay, how you guys doing? How you guys feeling about joining this virtual podcast? Are you guys-
Feels so awkward.
No, I'm just like curious. Like usually I have these like in my apartment, you know, we have a camera set up, lights and everything, but because of everything, this is like a little makeshift podcast that we have here using, you know, Discord and all the streaming stuff. So how are you guys feeling being on your first ever virtual podcast?
Great.
I feel
I don't know why this is so awkward.
You guys
I'm, like,
you guys
turning
were
on the
you guys were
phone
like
at
legit talking so much like literally 2 minutes ago. I'm asking you a simple question. How does it feel to be on a podcast? Have you ever been on one before? Or?
I have not.
No, no.
I think
I was gonna say I feel blessed to be with my friends.
okay. Good response. I think I mean
Real question though.
the main reason why I wanted to do it like this is we literally have like interesting conversations on our Discord every day, and I just like having these podcasts to kind of just look back, reflect, and also just do something a little bit more creative. So this is a way for me to be a little bit more creative, and wanted to bring you guys in here and talk about some of the other topics that we discussed previously in our Discord and put it out here. So I know the first thing that we kind of all talked about was, you know, things that we missed, you know, like pre-quarantine and you know, staying indoors. Like for me, like it's such a beautiful day outside. Like my window's literally right there. Like I miss going outside, playing basketball and stuff like that. Like I was just wondering, you know, what are some of the things that you guys miss the most?
I'm sorry, can't.
I'll go first. I feel like, I'm already an introvert, so I already stay home a lot. But, I do miss like being able to go into a restaurant and like, you know, like eating there, as opposed to like having to like take out or like pick up the food and then eat at home.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that atmosphere I do miss. And I also miss just like not like the feeling of not being like I have to put on a mask. Like what was it like going out and not wearing a mask on, or not having to think about like COVID, like things we took for granted, like freedom, just being able to go outside and do whatever you want.
Yeah. I don't know, it's like very, very much like you don't live in an apartment complex, right, Karen?
No, I
No.
live in a house.
So for like it's interesting because like for me it's like you have to like wear like even like me going to the garbage area just to drop off my garbage or like do laundry, like I'm always wearing a mask and sometimes gloves and stuff like that. It's just kind of annoying. So yeah, kind of miss it. What about you, Elaine? What are some things you miss pre-COVID, pre-quarantine?
I miss Friday night K-Town with
Ah, yep. Woody Ship, let's go.
you. And I don't know, I just miss seeing people outside and it feels normal. It just feels so awkward now.
Don't you feel like this is kind of normal now though? Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like we've been doing this for so long. Like just staying indoors and like playing video games is like the new normal. Like not going outside is pretty normal to me.
Just sad.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
sad. I think there was a movie, I forgot which movie it was. I think it was a Disney movie or something, or a cartoon where like I don't know, it was like a cartoon movie, right? And
Right.
like basically in the movie, like humans evolve, like as time goes on in the future, humans like they don't go out anymore. They just sit in a chair and everything is virtual. Like everything, like going to the store, like buying stuff is all like a virtual screen, like talking to friends a virtual screen, like and then like like you don't have to even drive or move because you can teleport basically. Like there's like a like it takes your chair and it like goes through like a little like subway type of thing. So you don't ever have to like leave your chair basically.
Ah,
So it was just like saying the future is like everything's gonna be virtual. Like there's no need to ever leave your house. So it's just like this is the first phase or the first step in my eyes of becoming a more virtual normal.
kind of like adjusting to like the like not just like the internet, but adjusting to like everything is like you don't need to leave your house. Like in a world where
Yeah.
we can't leave our house, what does that look like? And we're living it. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's just we've been doing this 100+ days right now, so it's just I don't know, it's gonna keep going on for probably the next 2-3 months or until there's a vaccine, which is probably another year. So it's definitely just adjusting to it. But have you guys like during this 100+ days, what are some like skills or not necessarily skills or something that you guys have picked up or learned how to do during these times, like just while staying indoors?
I mean, I guess I can go first. I've gotten better at just like learning how to have fun on my own, kind of
Okay. Like-
finding things. But then,
Like what have you found to be more fun to do on your own?
just like chilling at home. I mean, I think I did enjoy it, but not to this extent. And also like finding things to keep me busy.
Like Maple
Yeah.
Story?
No, I don't play Maple Story. I think also I've been working on a career switch, so that's like keeping me really.
Oh yeah, you've been working on like doing more UX design, right?
Maybe in that direction or something along the lines of more tech related rather than just graphic
Yeah.
art.
What about you, Karen?
I haven't learned
learned how to play Gloomhaven.
Oh yeah.
I haven't learned any useful skills. Like nothing cool like, play piano or something like that. I learned to cook more because I have to cook now. And I guess you just learn how to be more, like Elaine said, like self-sufficient
Mhm.
as well. And yeah, obviously, like I've been playing a lot more video games, so I feel like I've learned more different types of video games. And then like work, yeah, you just learn how to like. I think it's been a big learning curve for work for me personally. So
Like in terms of, do you think you've learned a lot more compared to some of your other colleagues? Like just how to navigate in terms of like staying indoors and meetings and stuff like that?
yeah, I think like having meetings with coworkers, being able to keep a presence in your team and your office while not being in the office is more difficult, and making sure you're like seen and known and like, and then also like I think like keeping those relationships with people in the office as well, and like communicating has been a learning curve.
I think that's like the biggest thing a lot of companies are trying to get used to. I mean, even for my company, it was a huge like, oh, how do we deal with this? And like, what's the best way to like, satisfy everyone's needs in terms of, we still need to operate and do our jobs, but at the same time, like there's a legit like pandemic going around the world. And it's like, how do you balance the two? Like, I think my company's done a good job of just like, oh, like, definitely work from home, being very aware of what's going on. They're doing surveys and in terms of like how many, if people want to go back or if people just want to stay home. But I know it can be like really difficult because it's like in some businesses, it's like they either shut down or like they have to just work under very stressful means. So yeah, I'll still go into the office every now and then just to do some stuff, but New York City is pretty empty when you go in there.
Really? How's the lure?
I've taken it only once or twice, and I was the only one like in my entire car.
Lit.
Yeah.
Perfect. I love
I was
those.
just like, whoa, this is like, this is weird. And then
Hell yeah.
even when I was walking like down 34th Street, like by Empire
Yeah.
State Building, like
Yeah.
there wasn't anyone there. But I think after that, I just decided to drive in because it's just one, it's actually faster, and also like since
Where do you find parking
I
though?
park in the parking
Yeah.
lot.
It was a parking lot.
I mean, there's parking lots all over this, like the underground parking lots.
You
Yeah,
paid
but it's
for
kind
it?
of
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, they're actually not that expensive.
Do you expense it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. I mean,
was
yeah. If I could expense that, then who fucking cares?
Yeah. But I mean,
But-
even if it's actually not that expensive, like staying there, if I were to like my own money from 8 a.m. to 5, it's $20, which is like, yeah, it's a lot. Like $20 a day is a lot if you were to drive into work, but it's not like that bad for parking in the city.
That's expensive.
Is it? I don't know, man.
Think about it.
I pay essentially $15 a day for the lure back and forth, right?
Wait, how?
That's
It is true.
the price of the ticket. Actually, it's
Wait, you're talking about peak, right? Yeah, like peak.
yeah, peak
well,
is like what, 10, I forgot. I don't even know how much it is.
it's super expensive.
So it's like 10.25 one way.
I mean,
There you go.
yes, but then you don't have to worry about like the thing with like you have to first find parking,
Yeah.
and then like let's say like you're not staying at one place, like you're driving to different areas of the city, then like you have to find parking, and then you have to pay the meter, and then like so that's gonna take
Yeah.
a longer time than like just taking the lure, 'cause you don't have to worry about like
But
having to
even
find
even now, like it's definitely a lot safer too. And also the streets aren't crowded of cars, so it's just like it's actually
Yeah.
pretty fast. Like I get into the city in like 20 minutes.
Oh, it doesn't. You know how the lure sometimes it'll like sit outside of Penn Station for like mad long, and you're like, why are we sitting outside Penn Station?
Yeah. Like I hate that. Like I want to be.
That shit pisses me off. I hate the lure.
Yeah.
Are we talking about how much we hate the lure? Because I'll go on and on.
Oh my god. I actually love the lure every time I use No.
Wait.
Why do you use the lure? You're from Jersey.
Whenever I visit someone from Queens.
Oh, okay.
Who do you visit?
No. Okay. Yeah.
I don't know you.
You never visit me. We talk
Yeah.
once.
And she took the
Three-
lure that
three
time.
times.
Okay.
Time.
Yeah.
We went to the concert. What else? That's it.
Oh wait. It feels like more.
Oh, the time we went to when we drove back from Pennsylvania, or
That time I
Massachusetts.
didn't take
Where did we go for Smash Pass again? Dude, it's been so long.
Massachusetts.
Was it? Yeah. Okay, so that's 2. What was the third time? Well, you're not visiting me in Queens. Don't say you're visiting me. Jeez,
I visited
people might get the
you
wrong
in Kevin.
idea. I see.
We went to get bubble tea and then we went to Billy's house.
Oh, Super Bowl.
No, it was like a random day.
A random day, and we just got bubble tea. You decided to visit Bayside to get bubble tea. All right, you're just weird.
Wait, what do you mean? We went to
We had to edit this part out.
this.
You just doxed Billy. Poor Billy.
All right, so
Anyway.
so once we're able to actually go outside and hang out and not be 6 feet away from each other, what's like what do you see that, like, envision that? How, like, what is that looking like? Like, are we all just gonna go back into K-Town on Friday nights and just drink soju at Woody Chip? What do you think is gonna be the rollout? Karaoke?
I hope.
Would you
I think
guys
it's gonna be lit.
Would you guys come?
Like a whole fucking party.
I think the first thing our group wants to do is go to karaoke. Get a big karaoke lounge. And then we all get sick.
How many people? Like 50 people.
Yeah, 15 people.
I feel like everyone's gonna come out. Cause like
Not everyone.
I feel like even I would come out. Like I don't normally come out, but because I haven't been able to come out, I'll be like, okay, like I'll come,
Yeah.
you know?
You guys have never met each other, right? What the? Why is that a?
Not in person.
Not in person.
Yeah, but the way you said it, it's like
Wait,
Yeah.
I asked a legit question. No, you guys.
I want to meet Karen
not in person, no.
in person.
karaoke, karaoke after.
Because I don't go out to like party or drink. Not party, but I don't go out really. Period.
Yeah, I mean, the
So.
times we go out anyway is we were always out in like the city, like after work, because
Oh, yeah.
yeah, because you don't wait. Do you work in the city?
I do, but I hate the city. I just go right home. So when it's that time, I clock out, I go home, I pet my cats, play some Maple Story. I'm just gonna play some Valorant.
Why don't you just after work on a Friday, you go to K-Town with us and we drink?
Because getting home from the city is a bitch.
I do
in
it.
My opinion.
I literally do it all the time.
I know, and that's why I hate it. So I'd rather do it if I can go home earlier, the better, as opposed to being on the lure at like 10 p.m. Like it fucking sucks because then it's all the drunk people and they're all
what
like
about
young.
Flushing? What about Flushing instead? Kevin is compromising in chat for Flushing.
I'd be down to drink and Flushing, like karaoke.
Oh,
but Flushing's like.
What are you trying to say about Flushing?
I don't know any of the like karaoke places because every place I know got shut down.
Kevin
except Pam.
Kevin has like a VIP pass or whatever, like a membership pass to some of the karaoke bars around there.
Is he really?
Yeah.
But then what about the people not in Flushing? How are they gonna come? That's the thing.
No, fuck them, man. I don't know.
Wait, Elaine.
I'll still pull through for you, Karen.
I feel like Elaine. I think Elaine can stay over at a friend's house in Queens.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. I mean, if you're down, I'm down.
Speaking of staying over at a friend's house in Queens, what are your guys' thoughts on like how people are like dating and being in a relationship during the quarantine? Because like I don't know if you guys saw, there was like this viral video of that guy. He was like on his rooftop or something.
Yeah,
he saw a girl on like another rooftop. Decided to like put his number on a piece of paper, put that piece of paper on a drone, flew the drone, and put it like on the roof of that other girl. She saw it and they started texting, and now they're like dating. And then he got a plastic bubble, like put himself in it, and like walked over to see her, and they went on a date.
Bubble boy.
Like I was just like, did you ever see that, Elaine?
Yeah, goals.
You would like that?
It's so cute and wholesome, and it means a lot of effort, from the guy.
Yeah. So you like it when a guy puts in a lot of effort?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like everyone likes it when a guy puts in effort.
Only debatable, because I would say like there are a bunch of guys that put in a lot of effort, but then it comes off as creepy.
All right, effort from the right guy.
You can't say everyone likes effort.
Not the wrong guy, but the right guy.
But the right guy. So it's not about the effort at all. It's just it has to be the right guy.
How creepy do you look?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like if I did that, that'd be like creepy as fuck. If I like got my drone, put my number on it, and like flew it, I feel like they were smart enough to just take the drone. That's like $1,000.
I didn't think about that.
$1,000 right there.
But you also know where she lives, so
not if it's like an apartment, like not like the entire apartment complex.
I guess, but I'd like if someone stole my drone, I'd stake out that apartment. Like, where's this woman? like
what proof do you have that I took it? Like, it's like she has all the footage.
It's true.
But I feel like
oh, that's so true.
Yeah, I feel like people are. I wonder like how, because some of my friends have gotten to like new relationships during like COVID, and I'm just like wondering if it's like a funny meme is that I've seen. It's like, is it really like the relationship season, or are people just bored? There's not.
Wait, is it summer like not cuffing season? Because it's
summer is
like
not
party season.
Yeah,
and then
but
winter's cuffing
people
season.
aren't going out to parties, right? So then that's why people are getting cuffed up, because they're like stuck in terms of you don't really know anyone, or like that sense of comfort. Also, it's just kind of I feel like it's really difficult to date someone. I mean, it's almost like You guys could live literally in the same town, but it's like long distance. Unless you just don't follow social distancing.
I mean, that's true. But I think there's so much more time to find someone and to put in that effort. I think it's easier.
You think it's easier during, like, when everyone's in quarantine to find someone?
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah.
But then how do you find someone if everyone's inside?
Well, as long as you already knew the person, maybe they'll start. Yeah.
So it's like you already have an existing friendship / relationship with someone, and then you're saying during this time you're able to kind of delve deep and get to know each other even more.
Right, on an emotional level.
On an emotional level. Damn. Do you guys see your significant others, really? If you guys have any significant others? I mean, I know the answer. I've been wondering if you guys are okay with checking. I'll say right now, I'm. Oh God, you guys are so quiet. Yeah,
I want Karen to answer first.
All right, here. How about this? Here, I'll answer because, like our Discord rules, the person asking the question has to answer. I'll be 100% honest. I mean, I'm not in a relationship, but I will see people that and not maintain social distance if I know that they're like okay and they're being quarantined. I.e., I just saw my dad this morning. I went to his apartment and I helped him out with some stuff, and I was comfortable seeing him. If I was dating someone, I'd be okay with doing that too.
Are you dating someone?
So, how do you guys feel about? Do you guys see your partners often outside of in quarantine? It's complicated. It's complicated. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think. What's the question?
Do you see your significant other during quarantine?
I have seen them.
Yeah.
I have.
But not really much.
No, because we don't live together. So that's one thing.
Well, yeah.
I think it's different if you're quarantined with your partner.
Well,
like that's
you would see them every
totally
day,
different. Yeah. But when you're not quarantined with your partner, then it's different. And I also live with my parents, and he lives with his parents.
Ah.
And so there's a lot of risk factor there.
Yeah.
And so we just want to be safe and
that's good. That's good.
Make sure. But also I think it depends on your personality. Like some people are very extroverted, whereas like they might be like going insane. Yeah. Whereas we are both introverted, so we're both like chill. Yeah.
Yeah. Check on your extroverted friends. Yeah. What about you, Elaine?
I've been seeing him time to time, not as often. I think I saw him for the first time maybe almost a month, I would say.
A month ago?
I think. Maybe not a month, a few weeks. Yesterday I saw him.
Wait, how did it go from a month?
No, so the gaps are pretty big. It's not like I see him often.
Oh, okay. I thought you were like, oh, I think I saw him a month ago. Wait.
No.
Oh, no, wait. I saw him yesterday.
No, since yesterday and the time before that I saw him was definitely a big gap.
Nice.
It's not frequent, but I don't mind it too much, I think.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
Do you personally like kind of having more, like you rather just kind of have your own space rather than kind of seeing someone almost like every day kind of thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's nice being with another person. Yeah, it's not like, oh, I don't want to ever see them, but I think it's also I value personal time, so it's a balance.
Yeah, if you didn't have personal time, you wouldn't be here doing this awkward podcast.
Wait, this podcast isn't awkward.
It's a fantastic podcast.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, I just want to echo, like, Elaine. I feel like also, like, with the whole quarantine thing, like, I think there's just two types of people who like aren't able to kind of deal with it, and they're just like kind of going insane and they can't like deal with it, versus other people who are learning to take that time alone and to like enjoy it. Like there's some people who don't enjoy it, and then people who are like enjoying it or learning to enjoy it. So there's just two buckets in my opinion.
Do you think both of you guys, like, are you guys in the learning point? Or I feel like Karen, you enjoy it. Elaine, you're like enjoying it, but also learning, right? Is that more or less how you guys feel on that spectrum?
Like I hated it so much at first, but then now I think I'm so used to it that I like it.
Okay. So yeah, you learn to like it.
Yes, exactly.
All right. If I was like in a relationship with someone, I think I would like it at first, but then I would be like, oh, I wish I could see them. But then you'd have to learn to deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Jackie asked an interesting question in chat.
Who's Jackie?
Someone asked a question in chat. What are your love languages? You know what your love languages are? I don't know if I know mine. It changes a lot.
How does it change?
I feel like it changes because of like for example, like now, like say if I'm not getting one of the things or whatever, maybe the love language for that other category will spike up more, right? So let's say I'm used to getting a lot of like physical touch, and then I don't get physical touch anymore because of quarantine. Then maybe I don't know. Maybe I'd want that more. I feel like that's why it changes. I have to kind of look up what are the 5. What are the languages?
Yeah.
Words of affirmation, quality time, receiving gifts, acts of service, and physical touch. I think mine is like words of affirmation / physical touch. Yeah. What about you?
No, mine. It's I think we talked about this before. It's service, right? Acts of service, which means like you do something for someone, like wash the dishes for them or something, and then quality time, which is just spending time with each other.
That's cool. Do you know yours, Elaine?
The thing is, I took that quiz a few years ago, and it was words of affirmation and quality time.
Yep.
I have a question for Karen, though.
Oh. Karen is like gonna flip.
In the past, I've dated someone that their love language was the acts of service. And that one I didn't really understand because if you're not living with the person, you can't really do their chores. And in other ways, it was very hard to think of methods to do that. So, like, how do you think you would feel?
I mean, I've heard that I've heard that acts of service is actually like one of the more difficult love languages, or like people don't understand that love language because sometimes it's so small that a lot of people don't even notice it. So like if you didn't live with someone, like let's say, we wanted to go out like hiking, like then I would plan it all. Like that would be my service act. It's like, okay, let's all get up at 9 and we can grab breakfast at like 11. Like I'll organize the event and I will like,
You're a planner.
Plan everything out. Yeah. And I'm also a planner too. I like to plan everything. And then like sometimes something as small as like if we're both sharing pizza, like and he wants the last slice, like I'll just give it to him. Or it's like let's say like he like he's driving and he's trying to like look at the GPS while driving, and he's kind of like, I can see him like kind of having difficulty, then I will like take the phone and like start doing it for it. Like it's just like helping him out when I see he needs help, even if it's like super super little. To me, that is like me showing it. I feel like that's hard to see on the other end because you're also just like you kind of expect, or it's kind of like, oh well, like obviously if you love them, like why wouldn't you do something like that? But I think for me, like I'm such a selfish person, and like I'm so independent that like for me doing that service for you is like a really big deal for me. Yeah. So like that other person just has to understand where I'm coming from.
Do you think it's a bad like I know it's kind of small, but it's like you're doing those acts of services, do you think it's bad on the other person to not recognize that as on the same level as you're, doing it? As in, like you just mentioned, like, oh, someone may not see it as a big deal, but to you kind of meant a little bit more.
As long as you communicate to that other person, I feel like communication is key. Like, as long as you just say, like, this is from my perspective, this is how I am. And like, then they can understand at least. Or like, if they don't understand, then there's a gap there, and maybe I would like reevaluate, like, if I want to be with that person. If they like truly did not understand that like me doing this is for you, like then like obviously we aren't a fit. But as long as they know. So
yeah, communication's always key. Sounds like as someone in chat said, sounds like Elaine, you're the person you dated just wanted a maid.
Wait.
With the access service.
I will make no comment on that.
No comment. Okay.
That's a good point, though. You know.
Moving on. Just I know we talked about it a little bit before. We were talking about a little bit about our jobs and our jobs adjusting to COVID, and I know me and Karen had an interesting conversation about careers and just everything. And I wanted to like throw the ball to Karen just to like talk about, your thoughts on, how to get things out of a career. So like we had a conversation with a friend where I truly believe that things don't get handed to you, really, even by good companies, right? It's like, I think it's kind of hard for company to always be thinking and always having to reward employees for doing their job or for going a little bit above and beyond. That can get lost in the whole, corporate ladder of everyone doing what they're supposed to do, keeping your EBITDA numbers at a good margin and everything like that. So like the point that we were making before was like, if you were to, the only time I've gotten raises, and for the most part, is when I've asked for it. And then, we were just going off in terms of in any career. I just feel like you're supposed to go out and get it, not just expect things to kind of fall into your lap, right? Just so what are your thoughts on that, Karen?
Well, disclaimer, I'm no expert. I'm no like millionaire, CEO, like
no career guru.
Yeah, I'm not where I want to be. Like, I have a long way to go still, and I'm still learning every day and trying to grow in my career as well.
But if there's advice like for like Elaine is, just starting off working, what are some words of advice you'd give to Elaine as she's starting off her career?
I think to put the two together is like network, like talk to as many people as you can. And like, also some of what I say is going to sound a little like maybe like savage, or it's going to sound a little bit like disingenuous, but the reality is that like every company, like it's a ladder that you have to climb. So you have to know the right people. So I think the first thing I would do is identify who is the top performers at the company, befriend them, learn their secrets, learn how they are becoming top performers at the company, and then identify like who are the decision makers, like who are the like people that are like changing the company, making those big decisions. Befriend them as well, talk to them. You don't have to be their best friend, but like maybe have a meeting with them once a quarter to like talk about either their career or ask for any updates. Or my favorite question is like, what do you think I can do to make, my job, what do you think I can do to be better at my job? Or what do you think I can do to make your job easier? Like, those are two questions I love to ask because I get a lot of good feedback on that. So like, one thing is network. And then two, I would recommend finding a mentor.
Yeah.
Like, and I know that's hard for a lot of people. Like, some people don't have mentors or they don't know where to find them, but like, basically you want to learn from someone who has industry experience, and you can ask questions like, okay, I want to ask for a raise. Like, how do I have that conversation so that person can help guide you? And then I think, I've been guilty of this too, is like, I would just keep my head down, like just go to work, like do my job, like not talk to anyone, like go home, like, cause like I didn't want to like try. I feel like I don't want to like go out of my comfort zone, but I feel like at work I'm pushed a lot to get out of my comfort zone. I speak up in meetings, like I'll like start organizing stuff. Like if I see something that's broken, like I'll just try to fix it. If no one else is fixing it, then I'll do it. And if there's a team fixing it, I'll join that team. So I'm just like more proactive at work and trying to like get what I want, basically. Like you just have to really like either you get what you want or someone else is going to get what you want.
Yep.
So yeah, that would be my advice. But it's easier said than done. It's just something you just have to like grow into, I feel like.
Any questions you had for us, Elaine? I mean, we're not like career gurus, but like,
or any advice you want to share, Elaine?
Yeah.
In terms of
just like careers, like
career growth or development, like what have you learned or what do you wish you knew?
I think the mentor part that you pointed out is very important, but also difficult because they're taking so much time out of their day to give you all this advice. And I kind of feel bad for doing that and for being like a nag. But I guess, do you think it came to you naturally or it's like a learning process, right? So
yeah. It took me like years to learn, like to learn all this stuff, but I also got lucky. I think like the first job I had out of college, like she became my mentor and then she introduced me to like a coworker, and they're both basically my mentors. They're both like really strong women who like climbed their way up the ladder, like really intelligent and successful. And yeah, sometimes I feel like annoying, you know, and they're old, they're like much older. So you're just like, oh, I'm just like this little like young person that's like hitting them up and like asking for advice. But I think you can tell in that relationship, like they like being mentors. They want to like share knowledge and information with you. Like they want to pass that down. So
really? Why would they want to pass down stuff that they learn?
I think it's sometimes in people's nature, right? It's because like I you know, in the bigger spectrum of things, like life isn't just about yourself, right? But if you want, you know, seeing other people around you, seeing them helping them grow and helping them achieve some sort of good, there's a self there's some, you know, it feels good. Like helping other people out feels good. And it's not like at the same time, like you guys are supposed to be a team. Sometimes your mentor may be your actual go-to manager. So, and that's like where I would think that is the best relationship, because at the end of the day, both of you guys are working on something together to, you know, on a project or at the bigger picture. There's a bigger picture at the end of it. Like for like, and that's why like when I get older and when I have more experience, like I wouldn't mind helping someone else, like being a mentor to them, because it's, you know, just passing it along.
Like if you're, but yeah, because I feel like maybe you're thinking about like shitty people.
Yeah.
Like you're thinking about someone who's just like an asshole, maybe like they don't want to share their secrets, and like you can kind of get that vibe, right? Like some people at work, you get that vibe, like, oh, they're not like friendly, like they don't want to like help me with anything, like they're just, you know, assholes. Like I'm just not going to talk to them. So then you seek out the people that you get a good vibe from, and then you get to know them. Like it takes more effort on your part. Like when I first met my mentors, like I was the one hitting them up. Like I was the one saying like, let's get coffee, like let's chat. Like one of them, like she had a personal like manicurist that would come to the office to do her nails. So that I was like, oh, can I do that too? And then we would like do our nails together in the office. And then I would like, you know, be like, how did you like, you know, whatever. So like you have to make the effort to befriend them. And then once you establish that relationship, it just kind of comes natural. Like once they're like, oh, this girl's like not a shit person. And you're like, okay, this person's not a shit person. Like you guys could just end up helping each other and they like take you under their wing. It's just like a organic process kind of. You become like their little sister or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cute. Because yeah, that's a different way of viewing it. My mentality is always like life is give and take, and if I take for them, what can I offer on the table? And I just feel that there isn't anything.
Well, if you're doing a good job, then it makes them look good as well. If they're like your manager, all right. At the end of the day,
offer them a lot too. Like for example, my friend, she would host a party and she would want me to come to help network with her. Or like if she wanted me, like they asked me to do stuff for them too. Like it does become like a two-way relationship. You're like, yeah, probably like they do way more than like they ask of me, But and I think, well, one, like if you can't find that person, if that person's not your direct manager or not at your job, then maybe you'll find them at your next company. Or like maybe that is a person at your job, but in a different department that you haven't talked to yet. So just keep your mind open because you're still pretty early in your career.
Meeting people is like the key part of all this too, because it's like if you can't find that at your current job, you'll want to find a job or an industry or a group of people where you kind of fit in more and like you can kind of contribute. I think that's a big part of it all as well.
Have you guys had any success in finding mentors outside of your company?
This is gonna sound really cheesy, but like, yeah, my dad.
Oh, that's sweet.
A lot of like my personality of like doing events and being, it's actually like a mixture of my dad and my mom. My dad, in terms of, I've learned from my dad how to like talk to people and just be friendly and just make sure everyone's having a good time. That's also ingrained in like Filipino culture where you just want to be a good host and you want to make sure everyone's having a good time, and that ties hand in hand to events. And then like I saw my mom as a mentor because like she really pushed in my head, it's that you can't just sit back on the sidelines and expect things. Just because you're doing a good job doesn't mean things will come your way. In order to get where you want to be, you have to go out there and either like physically take it, right? I wouldn't be making some of the events, and like for example, the way we met Dan, right? Dan was a sponsor for a gaming company that I do work with, and the only reason why I started doing work with that gaming company was because I was like, I hit them up like 4 years ago. I was like, hey, like, I'm a photographer here in New York. I want to cover some of your events. Can I come by? And then he was like, yeah. And then he saw my stuff. He really enjoyed working with me. And then we started doing events together. And eventually that's how I met Dan as well. So it's like funny, but I really do feel like if I didn't have that mentality, or I had the mentality of where I was just, let me just be this like shy Asian kid where I'm just like sitting on my computer, just crunching in Excel numbers, and I wouldn't have met, a lot of great people.
I would say like for mentors outside of your workplace, I think you have to think about like, one, what kind of mentorship are you wanting? Are you wanting career mentorship, like life mentorship? Like that's one side of the question. And then the other side I would say is like technically like everyone's my mentor. Like conversations I've had with Ethan, like Billy, like Ben, like Chuki, like everyone in that Discord, like conversation I've had with other people, like I learn stuff every day and I take that and I absorb it and I apply it into my own life. Right. But I would put them, maybe they're not as mentory as like my work mentor, who's like, a 35-year-old successful, like really like makes a lot of money, super intelligent, like held her own department. Like maybe they're not the same level, but it's a different kind of mentorship, you know? So I feel like anyone can really be your mentor. It just depends on what kind of mentorship you're looking for. But I think you already kind of do that in the Discord. Like sometimes you ask questions in the Discord, like, oh, what do you guys think about this? Or how do I do that? And that's already mentorship in and of itself. Maybe it's not that career mentorship you're looking for, but I think that can help put you on a path where you find that career mentor.
Oh, wait, that's so interesting the way that you put that. Because then I would say that Ethan is a huge mentor of mine. He's given me so much career advice.
Yeah, and it's not like, oh, I feel like I'm going out of my way or anything, or am I like expecting anything? It's just they're just people that are just genuinely out there that want to help out other people,
AKA Ethan.
Oh my.
It's good karma.
Yeah, that's true. I think Karen's really good at it too, but I've known Ethan longer, but for sure, I could see that from you guys on.
Charlie said I was blushing. I was blushing.
He's blushing. Oh.
Shut up. All right, what's the next topic? It's getting right, video games. Oh, the best topic of yo. Honestly, dude. Ever since this quarantine, all right. Let's look back. This started what, in March? We started playing Call of Duty Warzone. That lasted for a good 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Then we started playing Valorant. Then we started playing Fantasy Star Online. Now we're playing Maple Story. Oh, wait. Also, there was the board game where we played. Oh, I didn't play it. We had Gloomhaven.
Some board games.
And then the high school board game that was really creative and really tested your brain power. But what's your thoughts on like just video games in general, like for the past couple months? Like, has it been like, have you guys really been enjoying it, or do you think it's just more of a thing to do because we have nothing else to do?
I don't think I want to play more video games with you guys personally, but also because I'm not doing a lot, and I also feel very pressured because I feel that I'm behind in my career-wise. You know, I'm still working on school, and I should have graduated technically if you want to look at my age. Then I feel pressured to like not play the games and instead do things that are more productive, even though I want to. And I'm also really bad at multitasking, so I can't do both at the same time, which I'm jealous of people who can, like Karen and Kevin and Ben, these pro multitaskers.
They just play. What do you mean? They just play video games while they're working.
But they have it on different screens. They're able to just like, oh, I'll go here and then I'll do it here. I was like,
I'm getting fired. I'm getting fired.
Exposed Karen and Kevin.
I didn't say their last name, so they're good.
Okay.
Oh my god. But yeah. Oh, but I'm very jealous of all you guys who've been gaming hard.
What about you, Karen? How do you feel about the recent gaming?
Oh, I love video games.
You're a gamer.
Yeah, I enjoy video games. One, yes, there's nothing better to do than because I'm at home, and I have played more. Like, as opposed to when I was commuting and going to work, like I would just be so tired. I would play like 1 or 2 games of Valorant and I'd go to sleep normally. But now I've been like grinding it like crazy. And I think it's also, I enjoy competitiveness. I enjoy like getting better at something, and I enjoy like mastering something, like getting good. And that's how I approach like all of life. I feel like it's like when there's something to be done, like I want to be the best, like I want to be perfect. So I try, even though I'll never be like as good as like Z or Ben, but I'll still try. But when I was studying in school, like I never played video games. Like really? I mean, my senior year of college, like that's when I started playing CS. And even so, it was basically like right after I graduated that summer when I was waiting for my first job to start. Like that's when I started playing video games for real. Like I played so much CS and stuff. So like I think it's perfectly fine. I would even encourage you should focus on school, finishing school. You should focus on like important parts of your life that you want. And then like, or if you just want to play video games, or just do whatever makes you happy, or do whatever you think is best for you. But yeah, I never really played video games until after college. So.
Wait, how old are you, Karen? I'm sorry, is this like a personal?
I thought Karen's like 21, right?
She could pass for 21, but
no need to flatter.
Wait, no, seriously.
I'm 26.
Wait,
turning 27.
Okay.
So I'm older.
Your senior year of high school was like
2012? 11?
2011. I was class of 11. So I didn't start playing video games until I was like 21, 22.
She was a sorority girl before that.
Were you really?
I wasn't a sorority girl. I was in a sorority.
She was a girl in a sorority girl.
You were in a sorority?
Yes.
What's your thoughts on sororities, Elaine?
I personally don't know. They seem fun. I would love to have the opportunity to be in one. My school doesn't have any sorority.
They don't?
Yeah.
Oh.
Weirdly.
Let's see. This wasn't on the topic list.
No, it was not. Oh,
that's okay. It's a fat boy, right?
What's your thoughts on like sororities and fraternities in general, Elaine?
My thoughts?
Yeah, because you weren't in one, nor did you have it really in college. So I think your perspective is pretty interesting because it just kind of shows like your perspective is pretty interesting because you aren't affected by it.
I think that there's a lot of stereotypes within sororities and frats, but the only thing is that it's very hard to get included and part of a community in college, right into college. So I think it's a great way to get involved. It looks fun, and no matter what the stereotype is, you don't have to be part of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know to what extent you get influenced if you're in one, so I wouldn't know. But to me, it just looks like a group of people doing same thing for the same purpose, living together, having fun.
Mm.
Yeah.
Karen, did you enjoy your time in Greek life?
I think joining a sorority is great if you're looking to meet new people.
Mm-hmm.
If you're looking to meet people and get connections, then it's good. And if you're an extrovert, like you love social events and like whatever people, like seeing each other, whatever parties. I mean, not all the stereotypes are true, but I would still say some of them are kind of true. But if you're into that, then that's a great way. It is a great way for you to meet people. And I think like I was an introvert and I didn't mesh well with some of the personalities in that sorority because it's very structured and hierarchical, and I'm just very like, I'm just gonna do what I want and I don't care.
Would you do it again if you could?
That's the thing is like I still talk to some like a very few people that I met there. Like I know like ride or die. Like they would like if I called them up now and I was like, hey, I need help, like I need somewhere to stay, like they would say yes. So I've met like some amazing people like through those networks.
That's good.
And a lot it's also really good for work. Like really good for work. Like a lot of people that you end up knowing like can work at companies that you want to work at and then you hit them up. Yeah. So it's just a great network to have, especially if you're thinking like long term. I would personally probably have joined like a business fraternity. I think if I could go back and change it, I would join business fraternity because it's like solely more work oriented versus party oriented.
I think though I'll say this because I was in a social fraternity, is that the bonds that you were saying, like the ride or die, and I'm pretty comfortable saying this. My bonds with my fraternity brothers are so much more stronger than the bonds with any one of my friend groups, and I think that's just because of like the things you guys personally go through. Whether
they're offended right now.
Well, I mean, there's just things that I'm not like, I don't know. It's just weird. It's like whenever you're put through a very like me and my friends in the Discord, we've never been through like such stressful scenarios that like really test your friendship. So that's
like
why,
pledging.
Yeah.
Like, what's so stressful about being in a frat?
Just Google pledging.
No. I mean, it's not even like the whole like hazing stuff or whatever. Like, I think it goes down to more an emotional level. Like without like take out pledging and you just take in the aspect of you have a group of 8 to 15 guys, you know, working to achieve one goal together. And there are trials and tribulations that they go through that they learn about not only each other, but themselves and how to accomplish this task. And then you learn about personalities, how to work together, teamwork. You know, you learn how to kind of assess problems and how to figure them out. And I think there's a lot of that. And then even after you're done pledging, right, when you become a brother, I would think of fraternity or in sorority, just think of them as like almost like a business or like another club on campus where you have all these goals in mind that you're trying to set for yourself, and how do you actually accomplish it, right? And then, you know, there's a lot of emotional social ties that go into it as well, where like, oh hey, like this guy, you know, my girlfriend did this, and, you know, just talking to each other about that and having that social aspect of it there as well. That's why those ties are a lot stronger, in my opinion. Yeah.
But plus one, when Ethan's talking about like working together, like for sure, because like you learn how to work with people that a different personality, or maybe you don't like them, or maybe they're like, they're lazy and they don't want to do the work. Like you learn how to work those types of people, and it's all self-structured. Like at work, someone tells you what to do. Like at school, someone tells you what to do. But in the sorority, like you all have to figure out like who's going to tell each other what to do. And so I think that's helps you learn a lot in terms of like how to work with other people. And then like we did a lot of philanthropy work. Like you do a lot of fundraisers and like raising money for stuff. So like it helps with like learning how to plan events too. Like I think that's the most things I learned is like how to plan events and how to get along with people that I might not like.
Yep. I think that's the biggest part actually, right? Learning how to get along with people you don't like. Because in the real world, if you don't get along with someone, you just don't be around them, right? And in that sense, you're kind of just ignoring the problem rather than tackling it head on. It's like, okay, let's figure out our differences. Let's figure out why we disagree so much on each other or disagree on a topic with each other rather than, someone, it's like you get into a huge confrontation, you could just not talk to them or just never see them ever again. Yeah, I would do it again in a heartbeat.
You would do it again?
Oh, hell yeah. Dude, I would. I was this shy Asian kid that just went to class, went home, and I was just like, I hate my life. And then, yep. And then here I am.
So it changed you as a person. It's really good.
Yeah, I don't know if for the better or worse yet, but I don't know. I would
always
like to think,
better.
I would like to think for the better.
I think for the better.
I know exactly what I'd be doing if I didn't join the fraternity. I would have a PhD and I'd be miserable. No.
Wait, but the PhD though.
I don't know. Yo,
but
just think of all the hours you put into video games and you put it into studying. Just think about that. That's kind of scary, right?
That's so difficult.
What do you mean difficult?
I hate studying. I know. I was always really bad at studying.
But like, just imagine if you liked it just as much as like playing like video games. Like, dude, all those hours on Counter-Strike, all those hours on MapleStory.
I would be so depressed.
Yeah.
You guys would have 10 degrees.
Yeah, but I'd be super sad.
Damn.
What school did you go to, Karen?
I'll tell you off.
Oh, right. All right.
Don't want to get doxxed by myself.
Don't want to get doxxed. All right. I think those were kind of all the topics that we had. Was there anything else you guys wanted to talk about, shout out, or anything?
No, not really. It was good talking with you.
I mean, we're just going to talk again in the next 5 minutes, but just off stream.
Oh, well.
Don't make it sound, you make it seem like we don't talk to each other. Oh, it's good talking to you. He was like, yeah.
I mean, I normally don't talk to you for this long, I feel, at one time.
Oh, damn.
All right. Time was up, Ethan. No more talking.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it. Once again, this is episode 4 of What's New With You. Thank you guys for coming. Peace. Oh, wait, Ben just got back.
Oh.
Wait. Wait.
Bye, Ben.
Bye.
Nice day.